everyone. In this video, I'll be talking about tuple in Python. A tuple is a sequence of values, much like a list. The important difference is that tuples are immutable. Tuples are also comparable and hashable. So we can sort lists of them and use tuples as key values in Python dictionaries. Now we can see how we can define a tuple. First we shall see how to define an empty tuple. That is, tup is a tuple and we put two rounded brackets. Now we can print the output and we see this is an empty tuple. Now a tuple can contain any type of, that is, it can contain a string as well as int or even another tuple. You can see that this red is a string, this is a number, this is a decimal. Okay, now we can print the output. Let's print. Here we can see that the tuple contains three elements of different types. That is, red is string, 5 is integer, and 5.3 is a float. Tuples can even contain another tuples. That is, for example, consider one tuple, that is tup1 is equal to, let it contain only numbers, and we can consider another tuple tup2 which contains only characters. Now we can define another tuple tuple3 and it contains these two tuples, that is tup1 comma tup2. Now we can see what is inside tup3 by printing it out. Here we can see that tup3 consists of two tuples, that is tup1 and tup2. We can also concatenate tuples using the plus operator. That is, these two tuples, tup1 and tup2, are joined to become a single tuple. For declaring a tuple, we can use the constructor of tuple. That is, what this does is, this declares an empty tuple. We can see that printing, it is an empty tuple. Now if we put something iterable like a string inside this tuple function, the tuple will be initialized with the iterable items. Now if we print the tuple out, we can see that it consists of a tuple of characters as string. Similarly, using this tuple function, we can convert a list into a tuple. The length function can be used to find the length of a tuple. That is 6. Then there is the max function, which gives the maximum item in the tuple, and there is also the min, which gives the minimum item in the tuple. We are considering a tuple tup, which has got 3 elements, 1, 2, 3, and each of these elements can be accessed using its indexes. That is, if we print tup of 0, the output will be 1. But since a tuple is immutable, we can't assign a value to this element like this, that is, this will give an error. That is, tuple object does not support item assignment. This is why tuple is known as immutable. Now we can see the multiple assignment. In this tuple there are 3 items. So we can assign these 3 items to 3 variables. This A, comma, B, comma, C. These are the 3 variables to which these items will be assigned. We can see. Now if we print A, comma, B, comma, C, we can see that each item of the tuple are assigned to each of these variables on the left side. For this to work, the total number of variables on the left side should be equal to the total items inside the tuple. Since most list operators work on the tuple, the slice operator also work on the tuple. Here we have first defined a tuple having 8 elements. In the first case, we have sliced the tuple and only the 4 elements are printed out. In the second print statement, what we have done is we have sliced out the first 2 elements. In the third, here we have started the slicing from the after the second element, and the third element is printed out. For comparing tuples, we can consider 2 tuples, that is tube 1 having the values 1, 3, 4, and then another tuple having the values 1, 2, 6. Here we can see that the tube 1 is greater than tube 2. In the case of tuples, the comparison starts from the first element. In this case, both the tuples are having the same first item, that is 1. Then the comparison goes to the second element, that is 3. In the case of tuple 1, the 3 is greater than the second item in the tuple 2. Hence, tuple 1 greater than tuple 2 becomes true. So that wraps up the video on tuples. In this video, I have discussed tuple introduction and definition, the functions len, max, min on tuple, the concept of immutability of tuple, the tuple assignment, slicing of tuple, and comparison of tuples. Thank you.